Elastic is when the price changes, quantity demanded changes a lot. All right, so let's see where we are. Okay. All right, here would be the reading. You have Friday 112 to 119, 120 to 127, and chapter 7. Thursday's going to be a quiz on chapter 6 and 7, combining them both. Elasticity and consumer surplus. Is that true? No, it'll be chapters 5 and 6. Sorry. Thursday, chapter 5 and 6. All right. Okay. Here we go. Is this curve elastic or inelastic? Yeah. Inelastic. Mr. Owens.
I was going to say elastic.
Elastic. We've got inelastic. We've got elastic. Charles, settle this.
Good answer.
We've got neither. So Charles didn't help us. Will, you think it's elastic? Yeah. And you say that with total confidence. I love it. Smile. You say elastic heater.
Inelastic.
Inelastic. Elastic.
Elastic.
All right. It's both.
Yeah, that was my next guess.
So neither was pretty much right.
All right. So here's how it's always going to go. It's going to be elastic at the top, what we call unit elastic, which we'll get to at one spot, and then inelastic at the bottom. If you're like me and you have trouble remembering it, E before I, elastic, inelastic. Okay. Elastic at the top. There you go. And I just gave you the formula. If you wanted to figure this out, you could. Right now, you don't have to.
What was the middle thing called?
Unit elastic. We haven't got there yet. Remember, quantity on all these formulas is going to be on top. Okay. All right. All right. So let's just work one of these out. So if I'm going, first of all, if I'm trying to figure out percentage change, right? The formula would be like the new price of the new quantity minus the old over the old. So if we're going from, we want to do quantity first, right? Because that's on top. So the new is 20. What's the old? I can't say. 10 over the old. That's going to give us 10 over 10. It's going to be 100%, right? And then if we're doing the price, right? We're doing A and B here. So the price is, the new is 40. And by the way, for demand, it's absolute numbers. Okay, so it's 40 minus 50 over 50. Yeah, is that it? Okay.
Nice last.
Okay. Screw this up. Did I screw this up somehow? You're getting 5. Oh, so that would be 10, would be 20%, right? So you can get 100 divided by 0.2, which is equal Okay. So you just got to be careful because it's percentage change. I mean, I'd like to get more boards so I can show it to you slowly. Okay. So that would be 0.5. I mean, that would be -5. It's an absolute number. It's 5. If it's greater than 1, it's elastic. Okay. Okay. So X and Y. Again, if we were doing the quantity, because that's the percentage change in quantity. So what's the new quantity? So it's new minus old over old. So what's the new quantity? It's going from X to Y. So the new quantity is what? 50 over the old, which is 20 over 40, right? So you get 10/40ths. Reduce that to that's a quarter. So that's equal 0.25 on the top.
Wait, so we doing that wrong the first time?
What?
Were you doing that wrong the first time? Or?
No, I'm just doing now X and Y.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Why is it not 25%?
It is 0.25 is 25%, right? 2,500.
So we changed the last one to 100%.
Yeah, this is 25%.
So
Oh, we're not, which
yeah,
this?
last.
We're not done because we got to do the bottom. No. All I did here is get the change in quantity demanded was 25%. Okay. Mr. Owens?
What units should we use for our final answer? What
It's just like it's a number.
like percentage?
Yes, percent.
Like should be decimal or like
Yeah.
fraction?
Correct.
Oh.
All right, so now I'm going to try to do the price. All right, the new price is Y at $10. All right, minus the old price, which is X at 20, right, over the old price, which is 20. So you then end up with 10/20ths, right, which is 50%. Okay, so you got 25 over 50, you got 0.5. Okay. All right. Now, the numbers are usually going to be like this, like giving you, because you're not allowed a calculator on the AP exam. 0.5, if you remember, under 1 is inelastic. So you have elastic up here and inelastic down here. Okay. Go.
You said the absolute values of like
Right. Don't even worry. When we do cross price and income, we're going to have to worry about negative. Here, it's just absolute value.
See the final answer is 0.5.
Okay. Yes. Right? 25 over 50. Huh?
Why is it negative on the screen?
Because that's what it would come out to. But when you're thinking of elasticity to demand, it's just absolute value. And the reason is, like, because here, when you go to 10 minus 20, you're getting negative, right? You're getting negative 10 over 20. So it would have come out to a negative number. But I don't want you to even worry about that because it's the absolute number. Any other questions? Do you have a question? All right. Anyone to guess B? Just yell out, elastic or inelastic? Gasoline? Real estate? That's expensive. Medical care? Electricity? try to live in gold.
Elastic.
Yeah, I am the only person in the United States who's invested in gold and lost money. All right. Okay, so, and we'll get to this. This is perfectly inelastic. And perfectly inelastic is what? Quantity doesn't change, right? No matter what happens, quantity stays the same. Okay. All right, so unit elastic, remember, which is usually the point in the middle, the coefficient is 1. So if this would have came out to like 50 over 50, that would have been unit elastic. So what does that mean? That means if price goes up 10%, quantity demanded goes down 10%. All right, so that price and quantity demanded are moving at the same percentage change. All right. Here we go. Give you like 5 practice problems. Give you a couple of minutes. I don't know, did I give you space? But if not, you could always use the bath. All right. I might notice that people asked yesterday for practice. So I put the problem here. If you're not familiar with how to like get percentage change, again, it's new minus old overall.
What is a PED?
Huh?
What is PED?
Well, it's the elasticity of the market. Price elasticity. What?
Where do we start?
What do you mean?
Price what is the first step?
The price of pass. All right. All right. All right. So here's your first step. Here's your formula, right? Change in quantity demand over change in price. So the price of hats increased by 10%. I put 10% on the bottom. Okay? And quantity demand is decreased by 50%, so I put 50% on top.
So,
What?
so when you find the number, this might be a dumb question. When you find the number, how do you determine if it's elastic or inelastic?
Greater than 1, elastic. Less than 1, inelastic. 1, unit elastic. Greater than 1, elastic. Less than 1, inelastic. What? Unit elastic. Unit. If it's 1, it's unit elastic. Yeah. So the second one, quantity is on top. And you got to figure out the velocity. It's just to figure out because it's 2 minus 3 over 2. Figure out the percent. 3 minus 2. Yeah. Sure, you got it? Yes. All right. So those would be, here would be your answers. Okay. Peter, could you walk us through? All right, number one was just, you were going 50, I'll do number one, then give you. So quantity demanded was 50%, that's on top. And the price increase is 10, so 50 over 10 is 5, it's greater than 1, it's elastic. Peter, could you walk us through number 2?
Figure out the percent of change in price, use 3 minus 2 over 2.
3 minus 2 over 2, that's 1 over 2, that's 0.5, right?
Yeah.
And where's that going, on top or bottom of the equation? All right, so my bottom is going to have 0.5. Go. Okay. All right, if I'm not good in fractions, I could just move this over 1, this over 1. So I got 1/5, and that gives you an elastic 0.2, right? All right. Could someone walk me through number 3? Justin, first, Justin, could you give me quantity demand? All right, that's on top. They gave you that, right? So that's 1%. Justin, how do I write 1% as a fraction? 0.01. All right, so 0.01. Then walk me through getting quantity demand.
4 minus 2 divided by 2.
Yeah. So you end up with 2 over 2. So this is divided by 1. And that turns out to be 0.01, right? And that's inelastic. Okay. All right. And then who could do number 4?
So you do 1.25 minus 1.
All right. So we got 0.25 on the bottom, on the top, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're doing the bottom, and you said, give me the numbers again.
1.25 minus 1 at the top of 1.
Okay. And that's 25. That's That's going to end up 0.25 itself, and that equals 1. Okay.
So what is unit elastic?
Yeah. And Mr. Owens, what that's saying is that the price increase is 25% and the quantity demanded decrease is 25. So they're moving at the same rate. Okay.
So that'd be cheaper.
No, just at that one spot on the line. All right. Are there any questions? Any questions on this? Okay. I would say when they ask test questions, it's rare that they ask you to do the math like that. It's more common that they give you the number and ask you to do the elastic or inelastic. Yeah, I know. It's not to say that they'll never, but say if there's 5 questions on elasticity, I'd say 1 is on the math part and 4 is on more of the interpreting part. Okay. You want to get every question right. All right, here's how the lines, if you're like this, you are perfectly inelastic, the coefficient is 0. Right? Because here, quantity is not changing, right? No matter what you do, demand goes this way, quantity is same. So price could go up, down, quantity stays the same. Land is like perfectly inelastic, but we're not creating more land. All right, the next one would be relatively inelastic. Remember, if this looks like an eye, this is getting closer, so it's relatively.
Yeah. Is this other types of elasticity or is that something else?
No, this is still demand elasticity. All right, this is unit elastic. There's really, and they're just giving you the coefficient. All right, and when you're here, you're perfectly elastic. All right, because price, no matter what happens, price is staying the same. So quantity has to change more than price. The price is not changing. All right. I think the key is, especially knowing that's perfectly inelastic, this is perfectly elastic. All right. We've got what's called the total revenue test. How do you figure out total revenue? Price times quantity. All right. Total revenue is price times quantity. So if the demand for gas is inelastic, what will happen to total? So gas is inelastic. You told me that. All right. If price increases, what do you think is going to happen to total revenue? All right. Think again. Think what total revenue is. Think of price increases. What do you think is going to happen to total revenue? Here we got 2 hands. Let's see if we get to 5. We've got 3, 4. John.
Revenue is going to go up because people are still going to buy it.
Okay. Your answer is right. But just be a little more precise. Why total revenue is going to go up?
There's no substitute for it, so they have to buy it.
But people are going to buy less gas if price goes up. Being inelastic doesn't mean. So what's going to happen? If price goes up 10%, is quantity demand going to go down more or less than 10%? Less. So price goes up more than quantity demand goes down. So then price times quantity has to increase total revenue. So in inelastic, when price increases, total revenue increases. And I try to think, remember it as, if you're just looking for a memory tool, price up, total revenue up, it looks like an eye, inelastic. They're both going the same way. Inelastic, price down, total revenue. I mean, price down, total revenue down. Because if the price goes down 10%, quantity demanded will go up less than 10%. Okay? So inelastic, there's a direct relationship between price and total revenue. Elastic, price increase, total revenue decreases. Why? When the price goes up 10%, quantity demanded, say, goes down 20%. Because it's elastic. So therefore, total revenue is going to decrease. So elastic, there's a negative correlation. Go, Lorenzo.
What's the way to like, know the product is inelastic?
You mean they're just like looking at it?
I guess. Like, what you tell?
Okay, like yesterday we went over like some characteristics. So inelastic with a few substitutes. So medicine, gas, necessities, cheap things. Okay. Country clubs, elastic. Because if they become too expensive, people they don't have to belong. And unit elastic, price changes and total revenue remains the same. And that makes sense, right? Because unit elastic, if price goes up 10%, quantity demand, it goes down 10%. So it just balances. All right. So is the range between A and B elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic? I will give you a minute to work it out. Remember, total revenue is price times quantity. We're trying to figure out if so is it elastic, inelastic, and inelastic between A and B. I want to try to figure out the total revenue. Quick survey. How do people have it as elastic? Inelastic. Unit elastic. Dan, walk me through why it's elastic. Yeah.
So the price is decreasing, means that it's elastic. The revenue has to increase. So it goes from 10 times 100.
So 10 times 100 is 1,000.
And then 5 times 245 is 1,100.
So price went down, total revenue went up. So it's elastic, right? All right. By the way, could have you done it a different way? Change it. Right. You could have done it that way, right?
That got me -2.5.
Which is
2.5. Yeah.
negative is absolute. So that's elastic too.
Wait, what does negative mean?
It's absolute number. All right, fill out your little form, put it in the box. I will see you on Sunday, maybe.
Yeah. Wait, was that an elastic or elastic?
Elastic. The price went down, total revenue went up. You understand, Herman? Huh? If you come up to the board in a second, I'll show it. You have the numbers?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I don't know the price of what said, right?
So if I zoom
So you're eight. Pretty much.
I'm in on it.
Guys, you okay? Guys, you can come in. Run over to Mr. Owens. If you can.
The best you go for the nachos,
Huge game today.
What position do you play, Mr. Owens?
I put defensive end and tight end. But it's more like loose back because we don't really have a tight end.
Yeah, Daniel, how's the A?
I'm in on it pretty fast.
Is it on the way? Is it there?
All right, Mr. Owens.
I'm sorry.
Are we gonna win?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. You ain't gonna win. I don't know how much, but we gonna win.
We call Pyro. That'll be fun.
All I'm saying is, there's a play where I'm running the wheel route. There's a play where we're punting in the direction after me. And there's a play where I'm going out and drag. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna say too much.
I'm calling it like an 80-yard touchdown.
Three. Mr. Owens,
You get that high point up.
you might want to stay again.
I got English. So I got
Oh, you've been talking English your whole life. You don't need any more.
Tell me before that.
Please. Tell them that for me. All right, you gotta bring your A game. You gotta be sharp. Tough day today.
I didn't have to Drew, but to the rest of us.
What? Yeah, a ton of that. Mr. Ball. Not did it. All right. Not only do I want you to get the answer, but could you explain to me why the other answers are wrong? For real, great to see you. I think the people who are going to grab these, everyone should put $1 in the pot. The guy who eats the most squares wins.
Say it again.
That's just so all right.
That just gives me too much money.
Huh?
You're just giving Garrett money. I'm not going.
You're not going?
What? You're not going to experience.
I'm going to working to see you practice.
I'm making.
All right. As much as I like to talk more about this, we need this. And I guess the marginal benefit of making money is, I don't know.
What's your opportunity cost of going to the
Okay. He has now just made us a bunch of people. We're just like disgusting people. All right, let's go. Let's do the drill. Okay, Garrett. You're okay.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. You got all the live videos for tonight. What, Mr. Brown? To yourself? Yeah.
I haven't won twice.
All right. Shoot. Oh, good change there. All right, Luke, what did you not personally? You having a good day? Not really? Why not? All right, well, we'll make that better, right?
Yeah.
All right, just give me one good thing that's happened to you in the last 24 hours. You had 3 good things down. Did you do them? Yeah. Okay. All right. It's Friday. We're wearing jackets and ties. All right. Luke, knock one out and tell me why. Okay, that's good that you didn't knock out the answer on the first track. Go. Why? Okay, and we shipped one, right? All right, he left us with A, B, T, and A. Garrett, where do you work, by the way? Where do you live? Where? Oh, okay, so it's not that far.
Well, not from our house.
Yeah, right, that's right. Yeah. Okay. C is gone, A, B, T, and A.
I was going to knock out today, increasing the price of good Z, which is a compliment, because compliments usually cost together, and if the price of the compliment goes up, then demand for another one.
So what would happen to good X then? What will we do?
Okay.
We shifted left, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. Joe, how you doing?
Wonderful.
That was great to hear. Maybe you can inspire Luke to feel better with your.
I'm trying.
All right, B, D, and E.
I'm going to take out D. The price does not shift the curve.
Oh my God, are you good? All right. All right, we're left with B and E. B and E. What's going to happen with the
supply increases and the quantity increases, but not the
demand? So B is the answer.
B is the answer. Yeah.
Okay, good job. Any questions? You're on. Go. Okay, an increase of price of good Y. So good Y is a substitute. If the price of good Y goes up, people are going to buy more or less of good Y. So therefore, they could demand good X. Yeah, because it's a change in price, not a good X, but a substitute good Y.
Okay, so
Guys,
increase of good X is just shifted along the curve when the increase of a substitute shifts the curve.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay. All right. Joe, you seem like an excellent guy to lead us in prayer.
Okay. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. St. John Baptist, in the south.
Pray for us.
Live Jesus in our hearts.
Forever. Sure. All right, so the feedback from those white sheets for last class were practice questions with equation. So I stuck some in there. The last stuff wasn't happy about that. No. And then inelastic and elastic, the difference. Inelastic, insensitive to price change. So if price goes up 10%, quantity demanded is going to go down less than 10%. And then elastic is the opposite. It is very sensitive. If price goes up 10%, quantity demanded will go down more than 10%. Okay? All right. We need our late games for today. Here's the reading. The quiz on Thursday, even though we'll probably start reading chapter 7, will only be on chapters 5 and 6. All right. I will be here today if we want to, after school, do a redo on the supply and demand quiz. Did anyone redo it this morning? Was it easy? Yes, Seth got like 12 out of 13. Okay. Yes, sir.
Is there like notes or anything on review questions for the chapter?
Yeah, it's good, like the same situation. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll look. I'll give you exactly Monday. Okay. Like one review question. I might say the review questions look like they're getting better. All right, here we go. Is this curve elastic or inelastic? Ryan. Elastic. Okay. Anyone else? Mr. Riddle, what are you thinking? You're thinking it's pretty elastic. Okay. Lucas.
I don't think it's like one end of the other.
That's nice. So you're guessing A, B, C, D, and E. All right. Nice. Wolf. So you're saying inelastic. Didn't you guess already? Oh, okay. You want to talk more about
Elastic. What's more like an opportunity cost as you go up, like it's not really bad decrease or increase. And same way, also the elastic is more like close to vertical as
okay.
It's indeterminate because you don't know the.
Okay. So are you more like Lucas then? Everything?
Well, I'm just saying you can't determine it because you don't know the values of axis.
Okay. All right. So you don't have the values. I got you. Anyone else want to chime in? Kenny! You think it's what? Is it elastic or inelastic? It's got to be one or the other, or both. Okay. There's usually not like an answer that says normal. But Kenny, we're going to live with it. All right, Lucas hit it on the spot. It's both. It kind of, like you alluded, you need some numbers there. But here's what's going to happen. The top part of the curve is going to be more elastic. If you're just looking memory, I might have to put a spot on your notes for it, but it's notes from yesterday. I always think E before I, so elastic and inelastic. All right. The sweet spot in the middle, we're going to call unit elastic. We'll get to it. All right. Now, if you work out the numbers here, it's right quantity demanded over change of quantity demanded, which 100% over 10. That is 10. Anything greater than 1 is elastic. And then I think you're going to see on the bottom, it's going to be 10 over 50, which is 1/5. Okay. See that. All right. So you get, God bless you, elastic and inelastic type curves. Good job, Jeff. And again, that's why in the middle is unit less. You okay, sir? You betting on the Ravens this week?
I don't like the Ravens.
So
I thought you were a gambler.
I am, but I don't.
I didn't ask you who you liked. I didn't ask you the team. All right. All right, let's see. All right. The answer is like posted here, but let's see, can we walk ourselves through this together? So it's the percentage change of quantity demanded. All right, first, if you're not really, like with percentage change, it's new price minus old overall, okay? And for quantity demanded, for the elasticity, it's an absolute number. So don't worry negatives or positive. It's an absolute. All right. So I want to get the change in quantity demanded first, which that's on top, right? So the new quantity demanded is B, that's 20, minus the old is 10 over 10. That's going to give me 10 over 10, right? Which is 1, right? Did I do that right? Did I do that right? Or no? Then it'd be 100, right? And it's 1, so it's 1%. All right. All right. Now, if I'm doing price, so all right, I could erase this and then. All right. So the new price is 40, right? Minus 50 over, is it over 50? So that's going to give you 10 over 50. And that's 1/5, which would be right 20%. And that's how you get. Now, I just eliminated negative numbers because it doesn't matter. It would be negative, but so you get 5. Are we okay with how to figure that out? Did you see Riley?
Yeah, I have a layout. Like on the screen right over.
All right. I can put it down. Probably got less to do. Okay.
How did you get the numerator again? The 12%?
Sorry, Riley. All right. So I went for quantity first because that's on top, right? So I took the new minus the old, 20 minus 10 over 10. So 20 minus 10 is 10 over 10 is 1 or 100%. Yeah. Yeah. So now you're going to do it, okay? So the new price is what? Well, we went from A to B. The old price was? No, over 50. New minus old over. Okay? Now, I'm going to say to you, I'm going to give you some practice problems after this. And then I'm going to tell you, most of the time, they don't ask you to do the math because you have no calculator. All right? But on the AP test, there'll probably be 1 or 2 of them. So I want you to get 100. All right. Last couple, I think, practice problems coming up. It wasn't good practice problems. People ask for them, Will. I just do what you ask. Sorry, sir. All right, just yell out. See if it, let me get this. All right. Is B elastic or inelastic? Just yell. Elastic. Okay. Gasoline. That's pretty inelastic too. Real estate. You don't. Medical care. Okay, this one, last class. Electricity. Inelastic, yeah. Gold. I'm the only one in America who's lost money on gold. Yeah. All right. So if you're perfectly inelastic, and I'll have another graph here. This is perfectly inelastic. Why? No matter what, quantity demanded doesn't change, right? Wherever the price is, quantity demanded is the same. Right? That's perfectly inelastic. We'll get that. That's the coefficient of 0. All right. And this is unit elastic, and that's the coefficient of 1. Unit elastic usually happens somewhere in the middle of the demand curve, right? It's usually elastic, inelastic, and then in the middle, unit. Now, what is unit elastic? If price goes up 10%, quantity demanded goes down 10%. They move exactly the same. That's why the coefficient becomes 1. Right, you okay? Okay. Just checking in on you. All right. Here are the 5 practices. Oh, sorry. Thrill. You know, when you do, like, say, quantity demanded changes 10%, and price then would change 10%. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't do a good job explaining. All right, we're going to get 5 of these. Does anyone remember what does the coefficient have to be for something to be elastic? Greater than 1, less than 1, inelastic, 1 unit. Okay. All right. All right. Now you're taking this formula, these things, and you're plugging it into change of quantity demanded over change in price. Okay. Now sometimes you got to figure out mu minus old. Give you a couple of minutes. Have some fun, Walt. Huh?
So you said like the negatives doesn't matter?
You don't have to worry about it. Personally, I always start out doing the quantity demanded first because I wasn't. Yeah. You need to chat with the partner, feel free to, like if someone else seems to have it and need help.
Yeah, I think I did it. If I didn't, I got correctly.
That's fine. say this guy, but it's this day. Yeah. I can't So, good. Yeah, A, I'll flash up the answers. All right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. First one. Who wants to just walk us through the first one?
4, 50 over 10, which is 5. Greater than 1 says elastic.
Okay. So the change in quantity demanded was 50%, or the percentage change in price is 10, and it gives you 5. 5 is greater than 1, and we're going to do it. Okay. Who's got the second? Go. All right, hold it. So, price of water decreases. So we got the 10% on top, though, right? Okay. Right now, you're going to give me you're going to the price. Scott, talk. All right. Could you just walk me through how you got it? All right. So it went from 2 to 3, right? So it's 3 minus 2 over 2, 1 over 2, which is 50%. So you got 10 over 50, which is 1/5 or 0.2. Okay. Walt, did you get to number 3?
Yes.
Okay. So quantity demanded decreases by 1%. So I'm just going to put that on top, right? That's 0.01, right? Okay. All right. The price of gas, how do we get that? Well,
we did 4 minus 2 over 2.
2 over 2, 1. And then when you divide that, you get the 0.01, right? All right. And then the last one.
Okay. The quantity demanded is 25, so you put that on the top first, and then the price difference from 1 to 25 is 125 on 1, which gives you 25% change.
Okay. So you got
25 over 25, which is 1.
any questions on any of this? If these are the kind of numbers you get on a test, because you have no calculator. All right. So they're not going to give you a tough number. Any questions? No one? Thank you. I didn't hear it. Obviously, if it's multiple choice, no. If it's on an FRQ, they'll use, if there's numbers, they usually want the word, yes. All right, let's see what we got coming up. All right, you guys did a lot better on this than the last class. They seem to struggle a lot. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, here, if you're just looking at like graphs, visualize, like to give you a hint. Usually if they're straight up and down, that's perfectly inelastic. All right. As you get like looking more like an eye relatively, that's unit. I don't know how the heck that one's supposed to be unit, but anyhow, relatively elastic because it's flatter. So it's going to be more elastic on this. And then the last one is perfectly elastic, right? Price isn't going to change. So quantity demanded has to be greater than the change in price. You need to know definitely looking perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic. Okay, those graphs, you'll come up a lot. Yes,
change in price.
There is no change.
Well, like, yeah, but like, it's just the demand.
Yeah, it's just that, like, it's a rare market. But say like the wheat market, like wheat is wheat, right? So if the price is $5 and you change it to like $4.90, or you're not going to make enough money. Okay, if you put it above that, no one's going to buy from you because why buy more when? So that's it. It's like markets with really tight margins. So the market like sets this price that all of them produce profit. Perfect competition. Chapter 13. We'll get there. Faster than you think, too. All right, absolute value. I said that. Okay. Right now, we get to what we call the total revenue test. All right. The total revenue test is how do I just, first of all, how do you figure out total revenue? You ain't gonna tell me. Looking at a graph, the graphs we have, how would I figure out total revenue? Not that graph. Not that graph. Not that graph. Not that graph. That graph. Total revenue.
Isn't it like?
It is.
Isn't it like price of like the unit times the quantity?
Yeah. Just price times quantity. Okay. Good job. So, if gas is, did I use gas here? No. If gas is inelastic, if price goes up, what's going to happen to total revenue? If gas is inelastic, if price goes up, what's going to happen to total revenue? Just we have 5 hands here, 5 hands. We've got 2. We've got 3. We've got 4. We're dying for a 5th. We got the 5th. All right, Jordan, you look the most confident. Not really, but I thought I'd say that. So, go. Total revenue will increase, you said. All right. Tom, do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because it's inelastic, that means it's not gonna like respond as much to the price change because you need it. If the price is raised up, your price still gonna buy it. So at a higher price, the suppliers are gonna make more.
Okay. So if the price goes up 10%, like Dom said, quantity demand might go down, but it might go only down 2 or 3%. So therefore, you're having a higher price with almost the same quantity demanded, so total revenue will be the same. So part of seeing if something elastic or inelastic is what we call the total revenue test. Inelastic, price increases, total revenue increase. Now, if you're just like a memory person, here's what I think. Price up, total revenue up, both going up, looks like an I. Both going down, looks like an I. All right, I for inelastic. There a question, sir? No, looks like you think. Sorry that I insulted. Okay. Now, elastic, what's going to happen when the price goes up? Yeah, because quantity demand is going to go down a lot. So, elastic is going to have an inverse relationship. Price up, total revenue down. Price down, total revenue up. Does this make sense to you so far? All right, really? What's the next question I'm going to ask? Not perfectly, but you're getting close, Thrill. You got unit. So what's going to happen in unit elastic? What's going to happen to total revenue? It's going to stay the same, right? Just price up 10%, quantity demanded down 10%. So it's going to remain constant. Good job. There you go. You don't really have to memorize these if you think about them. But again, if you want to memorize them, like to me, inelastic's like an eye. They both go in the same direction. You have a question? Are you just playing with your hands? Okay, I do that. You're okay, man. Don't worry. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? All right. Here we go then. Tell me, is this elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic? Give you like a minute or so to ponder. What time is the practice, by the way? It starts at the game start. 4:30. 4:30. Don't need too many nonsense. That's not good. Try to put that on this line. How are you? Raise your hand to answer.
Yeah.
I'll take it. We're going to take a quick second. Okay. But then, if you want to explain, we'll be glad. All right. How many people got that this line is inelastic at that point? And we got a couple of inelastic. Unit elastic. Elastic. All right, Tom, you're up first. Give me why it's inelastic. That's what you do research. We missed it. Tom, go.
So at A, the total revenue is 1,000.
It's 1,000, right? 10. You got 10, so it's 100. Gives you 1,000.
B would be.
All right, so price goes down, right?
Yeah.
And what happens to total revenue?
Goes to 1,000.
All right, so price down, total revenue up. Should be elastic, right? How'd you get unit?
Oh, I just did, all the times that we saw the elastic, more elastic is at the top of the curve, and I was just looking at
The curve?
the curve.
Okay. Just remember like the 8 where it starts, it's near the top here.
I knew you probably wanted us to.
Did you do the change?
Yeah, I did what we were doing before.
What'd you get? Like 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah, which is the elastic. Yeah, so what Drew did, if you can do the same thing. He used the percentage change quantity demanded over the percentage change in price. And you'll get, like, you're not going to get the same numbers, but you get the same result. I think this is harder to do, like time-wise. But it's up to you, Drew. I think this is easy to do time-wise. But it's whatever works for you. Both of them are going to get you the same thing. If it was an FRQ, both of them are acceptable, like showing the calculation.
Yeah, I think that the percentage change is sometimes easier though, because it's less like conceptual, I guess, and more just like plugging in numbers to make sure you got the right answer.
Okay, if that's good for you, just do it. And then obviously, sometimes you're going to get one or the other. That's why you need to know both. Okay. Any questions on that? Joe, you okay? You sure? No.
Right. So when you find the coefficient of elasticity, is it acceptable to just leave it as a fraction on like a FRQ, or would you have to change it? Like,
You mean if you had 80 over 40?
right.
I think you could say 80 over 40 is greater than 1, therefore it's elastic. Usually, to be honest, it's like 80 over 40, so it's easy to say 2. You know, because again, they know you don't have calculators. Fractions is an amazing thing. It's not something we do a good job teaching, I don't think anymore, because people struggle with it. Back in the old days when we didn't have a calculator, you were better at it. I could figure out my batting average because I was running down to first base. There's an advantage of being slow. All right, let's see what's
0.
Well, I haven't hit a baseball probably before your parents were born. All right, so we did this. And notice here, Drew, just for you, I did have that formula there. Okay, I was thinking of you. All right, quick little multiple choice. Always good to have them down in multiple choice. I know you don't want to be here, Ryan. I'm letting you out soon. Take it easy. Last Friday, you told me you want to be. Go. Give you a minute. I think the formulas here. Just remember new minus all overall. Here's the coefficient. So one at least for me would take more than a minute and 10 seconds to do. Oh, that's after this time, so we have a question. Who's got A? A. Who's got B? Okay. Nick, you were first. So, hey, what did you have?
I did the total revenue.
No, what was your answer?
Oh, elastic.
Okay. So that's the total revenue, right? Oh, in a way you can. All right. So you did from 250 to 270.
Yeah, you're running the risk that like the coefficient is like.
No, that is good. I didn't see the easy one. So you did 10 times 25 equals 250.
And then 270.
And then 9 times what 30 is 270. The price down, revenue up. It's elastic. And then you could have done the coefficient. What did the coefficient come out to? 2. Oh, you know. All right, have a great day. Put your sheets in the box. See you Sunday. Maybe tonight if you go to the football game.
You're going this morning? It's so far. I wish I was closer. I would have gone.
I could speak.
There's something about Spalding there. It's off-putting.